going on, guys? Welcome to the You Are Here podcast. This is episode 20 of the podcast. I have a real special guest today. Before that, though, I just want to tell you where you can find the podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts. Follow, like, whatever, subscribe on there. It helps us out a lot. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube with a video. Subscribe to the channel on there. We have an Instagram account, You Are Here Podcast. Search it up. It'll come right up. Castbox, Podbean, fucking earworm, dude. I made that up.
I don't even know what that is.
I made it up. It sounds legit, though, right?
I'd sign up. I'd sign up for earworm.
And also www.youareherepodcast.co. We could not afford the M.
Oof.
All right, there we go.
Not yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, special day. Episode 20. I mean, a little accomplishment in the book for us.
Congratulations.
Once again, I'm still in Japan. Dave's not here, but I have a real special guest, a really good friend, that actually met here in Japan. But if you're looking at the video, he's not Japanese. He's from Portland, Oregon. Mr. Eric Martin.
Applause.
Give
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for having me, Mr.
Yeah,
Mike.
dude. You might know Eric. If you're in like the YouTube scene, you might have known a little Emart. Huh?
I was known as Emart.
Dude, you were showing me some of your stuff from back then. So this is gonna be kind of a different podcast again.
Okay.
We usually talk about films, poetry, like a lot. We get into deeper topics.
Okay.
Dave sometimes cries a little bit.
Okay.
I kind of had to cheer him up.
I've cried on camera. It's okay.
But yeah, dude, how you doing? How's it going?
I am doing great. I just woke up. It's 2 p.m. here in Japan. But it's my weekend, so I have Sundays and Mondays off. So I went out last night with.
And in Japan you work as a is it a English tutor or teacher?
Yeah, you could say a teacher. Yeah. I teach with a private school. I can't say where, unfortunately, but I teach depending on the day, either at like a public school, always with little kids. So I teach English with younger kids. And I just started this job that I'm doing now 2 months ago. Long story short, teaching English in Japan, it's the easiest way to get a visa here. Yep. So I started that about 1.5 years ago. My first job really sucked. I could dive into that if you want later, but it was like really bad. And then I got a better job, and then now I'm in my third job right now. And it's not what I want to do forever, but it's slowly getting like I'm working less hours and have more time to do what I want to do, like videos and stuff. So I'm now teaching English part-time.
I guess we can get into one of the reasons I want to bring you on is because you kind of have a little film background too.
A little bit, yeah.
Did you go to school for film?
Yeah, I did. I graduated high school in 2010. 2010. And then I went to there was a program at a community college in Oregon, Mount Hood Community College. They had a 2-year film program.
Shout out Portland.
Shout outs to Portland.
Ooh.
Shout outs to Gresham is where the college is located. That's my home turf.
That sounds like some like Game of Thrones.
Gresham,
the Gresham house.
I was the dethroned Gresham. It was actually kind of a shithole town, but I can swear on this, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
no, that's
sorry. But I did a 2-year film program. You know, like most media, like you can either go into like photography, or broadcasting. I went into the film one. Specifically, I preferred working with computers and doing like video editing. So that's what cutting videos.
Kind of same here,
Yeah, it's what I like to do the most. I'm not even the most camera savvy guy. I kind of loathe film sets. So we'll probably dive into this, but yes, to answer your question, I went to school for 2 years. And after finishing that, I'm from Portland, Oregon, which Nike is from Oregon. Yeah. So there's a lot of sports like facilities and like headquarters, and there's basically always work for sports in the film world, whether it be high school or college football, basketball, soccer, everything. Sure. And then they have Adidas and stuff. So I got hired with a small company. I guess I could say it. Quarter 4 Sports was the name of the company. I think they still go, but they cut videos for various sports teams. We did some stuff for Oregon State basketball, and that was my first like job out of my first film job. Yeah. I worked there for a couple of years. It was one of those. If anyone here knows what it's like to join the field. You know, you'd start as a PA, right? You start as the bottom of the totem pole. So that was my bottom totem pole where I was literally,
running
6, 7.
Coffees.
Well, no, I mean, I was in the office doing editing, but kind of, more that it was burning the midnight oil every day, 6, 7 days a week. Sometimes I remember there was a stretch where I was in my like 38th day in a row of not leaving the office. Like
really?
I went in every day for 10 plus hours. Yeah, we were doing a video for Umpqua Bank. It wasn't sports related, but we got offered to do anyways. So I did that for about 2 years. And then the company, I won't go into the details, but it was a small company, and some of the management above me, there was some drama between them all. And the company kind of split up. And as a result, I was getting less work because I wasn't hired full time. I was it was kind of I was a full-time freelancer.
Oh man.
Unless they don't need me. So it's like, we only need you for 2 days this week. So AKA my paycheck wasn't very reliable. So at that time, I thought maybe this is a good opportunity to go back to school and finish a bachelor's degree in anything just because I was 22, 23 at the time. So, I went back to school, and then that's how I eventually studied abroad and came here. Yeah,
cool. I remember we were talking about, I think it was yesterday or one of the days we hung out, but we were talking about our first like film jobs.
Yeah,
like paid film jobs.
Cool. Oh,
was that the one?
No, I could talk about my first paid film job was an alpaca convention.
Yeah, he told me.
I told you this. Okay,
you didn't tell me the details. I was like, we got to talk about this on here.
I was still in school at Mount Hood Community College, and me and all my friends, we had just bought a Canon 60D together. I still have the camera. I don't use it so much anymore, but I still own it. We all went in on it. I think at the time it was like $1,200. That was our big investment. We just had the stock lens camera, but anyways, we had a friend, my buddy Jake. He his parents, like, that's their business, is they like breed alpacas. It's part of their, like, they have some farmland out there. It's Oregon. So there was an alpaca convention where people from all over the world, there's like a tournament. It's literally like a dog show for alpacas. So I want to find this video in Oregon, dude. That was my first paid gig, though. They paid us, we were there for 2 days. We got, probably $400 each, something like that, for a couple days of work.
That's not bad.
No, it was actually fine, and it was but it was funny in that we realized pretty quick, like, we shot all our B-roll in the first like hour because it's an alpaca show. So you get like a zoom in on not a horse, the alpaca's horse face, and some just all that B-roll and stuff. So we had 4 guys at this venue for 2 days, and we just what we learned is, like, we don't need 4 people for 16 hours like
of alpacas.
Yeah, we could show up for 4 hours and then have like 2 guys stay, and then 2 guys come the next day. So we learned a little bit from that. But it was my first paid gig, was the alpaca show.
Shit.
It turned out okay. It was just a 3-minute promo for the show, pretty much. But it was just that's a funny memory. That's my how about,
dude, for me, I'll shout it out, dude. Schumann cheese.
Dude, I want some.
It's literally this small. I don't know if it's small or big, to be honest. It's literally a cheese company.
The cheese.
In like, I think somewhere in New Jersey, dude.
Yeah.
Like Fairfield, New Jersey, or something. And my buddy, Evan Yee. Shout out Evan Yee, dude. It's this dope Korean artist guy that, I don't know, man. He's fucking dope. He's shout out Evan. But he hooked me up. He's like, dude, come help me out with this job.
Yeah.
And like, I got my camera, the Sony, which I had like a time lapse capability on it, right? Yeah. And I'm like, dude, we gotta, how like in like a factory,
you gotta film the cheese molding, like time lapse, like,
dude, come on. But you know how they're like in factories, they have like the conveyor belts and stuff going. Dude, I went like close up.
Really?
It's kind of cool.
That's awesome, actually. Yeah.
But it's just cheese.
It's
just a time lapse of cheese going up. Cheese and alpacas, dude.
So pretty quickly, you're like, I guess I filmed.
And it's just a really corporate, like,
video.
This is the team. And like, let's do some headshots and have them be like, thumbs up.
Yeah.
And then a lady walk up to the front desk and be like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And but I got paid like $200, and
that's great.
That's it's history.
What's interesting, and it's like, to anyone who's maybe like, I don't know, younger or whatever, that wants to get into it, or they probably can relate with us if you're already like doing that kind of stuff, is that any like professional person who's now like a big guy, they started with cheese and alpacas. Like, you start with the mom and nothing, like the mom and there's always, but it's always that way, right?
Yes.
It's a mom and pop shop, some small store, like, hey, we need a little video, and we can hire this kid who's young, and
because when you think about it,
like, when take the job,
that's where you learn, the steps.
Get all your mistakes out of the way at Schumann Cheese, not with Nike or something. Don't
fuck up. Don't fuck up at Nike. Fuck up at Schumann Cheese.
Don't fuck up at Nike. I did a few jobs for Nike, which we can talk about later. and there were some moments where like the computer started acting up, but I can talk about it like later, I guess.
No, that's fine.
It was we did a live event and my whole job was we were supposed to push Instagram story videos edited though, like nice. It was a football camp, and as much as I worked in sports, I don't really watch sports. So that was I could talk about that too, working in a field that I don't really know much about. I just know how to like cut a slick video. But is it Odell, the football player?
Odell Beckham?
I think so.
Odell Beckham Jr.?
Yeah.
ODB.
Yeah, ODB. ODB.
Old dirty bastard.
That was like the hype of this. It was a football camp, and ODB came out like unannounced and like comes out onto the field with all the players.
Wait, it's OBJ. Odell Beckham Jr.
Shit, everyone's gonna
shout out ODB, old dirty bastard. What up?
Scratch that. I never watched sports. I'm sorry. So like I was supposed to edit and like hype this whole Odell's showing up, and I don't even know. I don't even know who the guy is. It's a big deal.
I feel like a lot of people would be pissed at you, right?
Probably. Like you don't even know him. So, but yeah. Anyway, so my whole job was like, all right, we're gonna like shoot some stuff live in the field, give you the memory cards, and you have 30 minutes to like edit a video and post it on Instagram for like 3 days. Yeah, it was like that, just intense. But there was moments where they wanted to do like a time lapse, and for whatever, or a like a GIF. It was something dumb, and the Photoshop wasn't. It was something, and it was. Anyways, those like when you're making a mistake and you're at Nike headquarters, you get nervous. Even, you know. So Schumann cheese, do it at Sherman cheese, or is it Schumann cheese?
Schumann cheese. It could be Sherman.
I just like the name.
Let's just get away from that.
Yeah, man. But get your mistakes out there for sure. On those early videos.
I mean, maybe you can't talk about this, but like working for Nike, you get a little bit of
some cheddar.
Maybe you got some cheddar or something. Did you get like some discounts? They hook you up?
They
I mean, Portland's kind of like the Nike town.
It is. So Portland, a lot of people you'll see them wearing Nike. Obviously, if you live there and you have a friend that works with Nike in any affiliation, you can ask them to reserve you like a time slot on a weekend to go to the employee store. And everything is half off. Everything. They might not carry every single hot item, but they have like a full warehouse full of like all sports, all genders, all of that, and it's all half off. So I went there and I dropped like $600 and I still wear the gear.
Really?
It was like 5 years ago. It's like running gear, jogging, like all of that. And but yeah, when I worked with Nike, they always like, hey, like what size shoe do you wear? And I'm like, oh shit.
Are those Adidas or no, they're not. I was about to say, bro.
My
pants. I was like, oh wait.
These are my purchase in Japan fake Adidas. They're only $20, and I'm wearing Nike socks, but I'm wearing Adidas shoes today. I'm not living faithful, but yeah, they asked me like, what's your shoe size? I was like, and I thought I was all stoked. I thought I was gonna get a shoe. I never got a shoe. That shoe never showed up somehow for some reason. Yeah, I went home empty-handed. I got a paycheck, but yeah.
Well, shit.
Working for Nike is fun though.
Yeah.
The Nike headquarters is cool. So that's what's there. It's in Beaverton, I think. Yeah, Beaverton is the name of that's where Nike was founded. And it's literally like, I don't know if you've ever seen like pictures of it or anything.
No.
It's that's where we did all those videos for that specific job.
Really?
It's called the Nike headquarters, and it's imagine like a college campus. Just big buildings everywhere,
I guess it's
gardens
like,
and stuff.
You know when you look at like Google headquarters and stuff?
Yeah.
Kind of similar.
It's exactly that kind of a vibe, and it's huge. But it's Nike's a little weird. I could go about that too.
Oh really? Like it's almost like a cult. The people that work there, like, because they use like, because it's such a structured like. Hey, you work at Nike, and you got to be. It's kind of cool. And did you have to show up at Nike?
What do you mean? How to show up?
Like, did you have to dress in Nike?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I used to wear Stan Smiths around then, the Adidas, and they're like, do not. The first day, I think I showed up in Stan Smiths, and they're like, yeah, you shouldn't do that. And I was like, I don't have a pair, and they're like, we'll get you some temps. They wanted to give me a temporary pair. Yeah. They're really, that's like the whole cool thing where it's like, you're wearing the other, if you showed up in a pair of Fila's or Pumas or Adidas, like you'll literally get like probably like asked to leave. Like it's not even, And I'm trying to remember there's some terminology they use that only Nike uses.
Oh, really?
On it. And forgive me if it comes up, I'll say it. But those are me and all the other editors. We'd always kind of laugh. Like, dude, Nike's kind of this weird cult. I used to work for Starbucks, like when I was in high school, and it was the same kind of vibe. They have very like, the barista terms, right? You're not allowed to call it a frap, by the way, as a worker. They get,
really?
Yeah, it's like against company policy.
Isn't that where it's from, though?
Well, Frappuccino, right?
Yeah, it's Starbucks, right?
Yeah, but if you call it a frap, not a frappuccino, they get mad. So like, hey, can I get a mango frap?
Yeah,
like you get you get talked to.
Being on vacation this long, I forgot I'm like a barista too.
Yeah, you are.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit, man.
Anyways.
I leave in 3 days.
Dude, it's been fun having you here. Long story short, Mike's been here. You haven't been here in
3.
Do they already know your whole study abroad thing?
I talked about it last time. Yeah.
About 3 years ago, we studied abroad together. That's how we met.
Really, really quick. Yeah. I could talk about that. When I studied abroad after my brother, we had him on the last podcast. Shout out Sebastian.
Right.
So around I think 3 years ago, he studied abroad, and then the next year I came because he was like, "This is like the best experience of his life," and I was like, "Well, I gotta go now." And I got here, and I remember the first 2 people that like I became friends with and I met was at the airport. I met Anthony.
Oh, for real?
Shout out Ant. Yeah.
Shout outs to Ant.
Yeah, dude.
That's a good friend of ours.
And
He was
like
here like a month ago.
Normally at the airport, like especially like this kind of weird. You're kind of meeting just like random ass people. So like I saw him, and something about him. Like I looked at him, I'm like, yo, what up?
I walked in
like, all right. Yeah. And now we're still good friends. But
I remember when I first met you, I was scared of you.
Yeah, you told me. I'm like, what do you mean?
I was scared of Mike when I first met him.
I'm scared of you now, dude.
I know. Some of my stories here. Yeah. But so who were the first 2 people? You said you met Ant at the airport.
Ant and then you.
And then me.
Like good friends.
Oh, great.
Like good friends that I met.
Yep. You were I'll say you were the first guy that I met. That was like
I remember walking to the campus. We had like the ceremony.
Dude, that's when I met you.
I remember I saw you going in.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, I'm gonna fall. You were wearing I think you were wearing like a Hawaiian shirt or something. Dude. Or something like that. And I was like, this kid looks fun. And I went over and I sat next to you.
That sounds about right. Yeah, we sat together. And I remember this actually, I actually.
My memory's shit, dude.
We were at they made us all like I was doing like when you do study abroad, you can choose to live in the dorm house or live in like a homestay where you live with like a Japanese family. That's what I did. But the first week, everyone has to stay in the dorms, and then they sort you out. So we're all at the dorms, and then we had to all go to like a pre-meeting. Basically, like, hey, you're a foreigner in Japan. There's a lot of rude things that you do in America that aren't going to fly here, so we're going to talk about it here. It's because there's so many little things in Japan. Basically, like almost anything in Japan is considered rude. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But like, no matter what you do, it's rude to someone. But so we were walking to that conference, and I remember we were kind of like by each other, but. I thought I'm actually older than him by a few years, and I thought you were older than me just by because I don't look very. I have a young face, and you just kind of look like you were kind of not pissed, but just like you didn't really want to like fuck with anyone.
This is my natural face.
But I think I don't remember if I said what's up or whatever, but like we somehow started talking, and then you mentioned that you were. I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing homestay, and you're like, oh dude, I got my own place. Like what do you mean? He's like. Well, my bro, he lived here last year and he stayed in this house, like a share house, and I got hooked up with it this year. So yeah, like I have my own place.
Dude,
to like
I gotta get in on
parties and stuff. As much as that didn't go down, but but I was so envious of that when I heard that. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
But the homestay ended up being great. I loved living with the Japanese family.
And I think
amazing, but
I guess we can kind of talk about
I'm getting over a cold, so sorry if I have a
you're good.
I'll sniff over in the corner.
A lot of people that came to study abroad, I feel like there's kind of like certain types of kids that came.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I feel like definitely by like the first month, everyone kind of split into the little groups, right?
Yeah. It's of course there's obviously like personalities and stuff like that, but we can probably just say the obvious. There's a lot of people who come to Japan with an interest in anime and video games and stuff.
And think that
I
it's
love
like,
that stuff as much as
like we both love,
I'm the biggest game. That's the thing is people ask like, I now live here, but people, they all the time on YouTube or doing Twitch and stuff, they always ask like, so you must be a big, the term is weeaboo, a weeb, like an anime diehard fan.
Or as we call them, fish.
I say, what's about... Hey... The inside jokes are gonna come on the podcast. Call them the fish. So bad. Don't want to be a fish. We no, but whatever the term is of a weeb, but for video games, whatever that's considered. Yeah. I don't know if there's a term for it.
Just a big nerd. Dude.
I'm the biggest video game. Like knowing the history of I love retro games. I'm really into that now. Yeah. I'm now into like a lot of collecting, and Ant is really into that as well. So
I feel like that's how I met all kind of into that too.
I met Ant because we were talking. He was talking about Smash Brothers Melee, and usually someone's like, yeah, I'm the best player among my friends. I'm gonna beat your ass in Smash.
And when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay.
I'm like, fuck this kid. I'm gonna smash him. Like, but
he's actually good.
No, Ant's good. That's the thing. Is Ant was talking about it. I'm like, oh, for sure. And then there's like a pro scene for Smash.
Yeah.
That I was into at the time because there was a documentary.
I didn't even know.
There's a documentary for that Smash community that came out around that time, and there was a lot of hype for the community then. So I started playing kind of with a friend of mine, and we were going to like Portland had a good scene of competitive tournaments. They probably still do now. But I heard Ant. He was mentioning some pro players like Mango, who are some other like players and stuff. So I'm like, oh shit, he actually knows the pro stuff, right? You're not just like, I'll destroy you with my Falcon Punch, you know? So I that's when I met Ant and was like, all right, this guy actually seems like someone I'd maybe hang out with.
I think maybe I met Ant from you, maybe, or something.
How did we all meet up? Like, I
don't know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I knew you, and then, these are some great memories, man. I hope chat doesn't mind. But I keep saying chat. I'm so silly. I do some Twitch streaming and I always say chat. I hope the listeners.
We can get into that in a little bit.
Anyways, we could.
Let's get into that right now.
Let's get into it right now.
So, I was gonna like. So
this is all great.
One of the reasons I wanted to bring
nostalgic, yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to bring you into is like,
okay,
with me, so the partner I do this podcast with normally, Dave, he is like a big film script writing, like movie, like he's an actor, right?
Yeah,
really good, amazing.
That's awesome.
But like it's kind of weird because like it's kind of a contrast. I feel like we're kind of similar with, we kind of went in like grew up on YouTube and like. That kind of scene, right? Instead of I think you watched a bit of movies too, right?
Yeah, like, we did.
Did you ever have like
we never like cut film though, you know?
We
was all digital.
Did you ever want to like when you wanted to go to film school, did you want to do YouTube or did you want to do films?
In my head, I wanted to make movies.
Really?
Yeah. Or something in television. They have Graham in Portland. They have Portlandia.
Yeah.
My friend did some PA work for Portlandia. So there's there's work opportunities for sure.
Yeah.
I soon realized very quickly that I loathe film sets. I hate them. It's
pretty rough.
It's a lot of standing around. It's a lot of checking. It's a lot of if you mess up, everyone hates you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure, and I personally just don't really enjoy it. But I wish I did, because then that kind of having, like you said, your friend Dave, he has like a wide, hey, we need a actor for this gig, and then we need something for this gig. We need you to help us write a script. Of course, I would rather have more skill sets, and most people that do freelance, they can do everything. I'll produce, whatever. I kind of just very like bluntly, honestly told myself like I just like to edit. So if you guys shoot the stuff and you give me the footage and we talk through it and do the music cutting and all that, I love that.
And that's why I love
it.
The YouTube side is so much like
it's perfect.
It fits perfectly for that.
It's perfect. And I do everything myself. So at least right now. So I just a little quick shout out that's when I first came to Japan, I made a little channel. It's called Eric Abroad.
Eric Abroad, shout out. Follow on YouTube.
I haven't uploaded it over
Eric Abroad or twitch.tv/ Eric Abroad.
So I started doing YouTube when I was studying abroad here.
And I think that's one of the reasons I clicked with you too, because I really wanted to do that too.
Dude, so much fun.
And you're like your educational like video, like traveling, visiting stuff is very good. Like it's super like concise.
Sure.
You know how to. I guess you write down the scripts or something.
A little bit.
But like it's a great like. I'm gonna link it down below. Even if it's a year old, but still, it's just like a good.
I bought a camera
video.
3 days ago.
Yeah, dude.
I want to start uploading.
Yeah, man.
I've been on.
I wish I could have helped you out a little.
With what? Oh,
just like
shooting
recording.
Something. I know.
Shooting.
We were like, maybe we should shoot something while you're in town, but it didn't work out this time, which is fine. But I'll be shooting something hopefully soon.
Yeah.
And I was doing YouTube when I was studying abroad, and then when I moved back here, that was my I'm gonna come back, find a job, and I'm gonna do so much YouTube. It's gonna go so well. My first job was so bad and was so overworked that I literally didn't have time. I didn't have time to even like do my laundry, cook for myself, let alone
teaching
YouTube.
English, right?
Yeah, it was teaching English with some huge air quotes. It was for in Japan they have these like after school study places called it's kind
of like tutoring, right?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, it's forgive me, I'm like blanking this morning.
Like Eikawa? Is that
oh my gosh, I'm gonna edit this part out, but it doesn't the name will come back to me. I'm sorry, this doesn't help back my alleged knowledge of being able to speak Japanese. I'm sorry, but It is basically one of those. It's not. It's like a school, but it's literally a place after school to go like do your homework. Yeah. And there's teachers there, and they'll help you do your math and stuff. Very depressing environment. It's literally like cubicles of kids that are just, dude. They like that. Unfortunately, the stereotype of people in Japan that are just like fatigued from working and being in school. It's a lot of their way of studying rather than like let's learn. It's like the teacher's job is to have all of his students get an A on this test. So we're going to study specifically to pass the test. So it's a lot of memorization and a lot of just literally just to get the test out of the way. But it's like the lowest. I was talking to my boss now because he's been working in English teaching like for like his whole life. He said like their method on like a educational level of like their brain activity, it's the lowest level of learning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but just that style of just like memorize this. So
it's memorization.
And that's where they have such a problem right now with English teaching. It's one of the poorest English-speaking countries, even though they're like the third highest economic international trading country in the world. Tokyo is an exception. A lot of people speak English there, but here in Osaka, almost no one speaks English. So there's a high demand for English teachers because their education system is
come on
down. We need a it's It applies in school as well. They have to learn English, but they hate it, and it's just boring, and they have to memorize. So I worked in the English division of that school.
Oh, that sounds great.
And it was awful. Yeah. And it was just I had to be there for long hours with not any work to do. I didn't have anything to do. And anyway, so I couldn't do YouTube.
Yeah.
A few months later, I realized that YouTube has that YouTube Live feature, which you can do from a cell phone. And I was like, I could try this. So I tried it just with my stream, and it goes to all your subscribers on YouTube that follow you, that you're live. And I had like 100 people watching. I was like, this is so cool. Like, it was so different. I was literally just walking in. I remember it was raining. I had an umbrella, and I was walking in the park. And just going up to like a vending machine and ordering a drink, everyone was like, wow, that's so cool. Like, because it's such a Japanese, all these little like culture shock things. And people can also donate money while you're doing that. So people were donating some tips, like $10, $20. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I got the interest of like, maybe I could, like, since I'm so busy, I could just do a live stream because there's no editing involved. There's no planning. So fast forward to like today, I've spent the last like year and a half doing all, I went to Twitch for live streaming. I did all Twitch. And I'm still doing it, but I'm now at the point in my life with my new job that I have more time to do. I can finally now comfortably go back into YouTube. I didn't want to get back into it until I knew I was like ready. I don't want to force and like put out something that I don't think is good. So I'm really excited. And you coming into town, I'm like, dude, I'm buying a camera, I think. And I just got a cheap Sony 5100 for people wondering what camera I got. It's old, but it's affordable, and I'm gonna start there and then kind of, because I don't need 4K
dude,
right now.
If I can find some good like lenses at home, because I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're a lot cheaper, dude. And
here or
at home,
at
dude.
home, you think?
Yeah,
I think they're a little
thought they'd be
here.
cheaper here.
No, some of the lens I want is like $700. I'm like, I'm good on that rough right now. I'm gonna wait. So, anyways,
crazy thing is, I remember like kind of seeing the trend, like when I went home from study abroad. And you stayed. Right.
That's right. You went for half a year, like the one semester or whatever, and then I stayed for a second one. Second one was not nearly as fun because everyone left. You left. Aunt
I remember you were telling me
it wasn't very fun.
Kind of sad.
The second one, it was a lot more lonely. And in Japan, they don't have like a summer break. They have a spring break and a winter break. So when you guys left when Christmas hit,
that's the worst.
It was their winter break, the Japanese students. But all the foreigners still had to go to school. So we'd go to campus and it was all foreigners. So it was like, why am I in Japan if I'm just interacting with Christmas? English speakers and it's Christmas? And apparently in Japan, here's a little culture thing. Christmas in Japan is not a family holiday. That's New Year's. New Year's is the family thing. They eat sushi and it's this whole thing.
Christmas is kind of like
it's
dating.
It's a dating holiday. Wow. It's a day to take your girlfriend. This is like you go out, you look at Christmas trees, and then you go get cake and then order KFC. And if that sounds crazy, just Google KFC Christmas Japan and you'll see what I mean. It's a fad here. They think that
I remember I got KFC with my buddy for Thanksgiving when I was here.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah. You don't have there's no big ovens here, so you're not baking a full turkey.
No turkeys out here.
My first Christmas here was lonely. I ended up going I didn't realize it was a dating holiday and I was single, so me and another friend who was also single ended up going together to an onsen. It was kind of sad. But we're in this together. The hot spring, sorry.
Hot spring kind of public bathhouse.
Yep.
Sounds nasty, but one of the best most relaxing things
It's
ever.
one of my favorite things to do in Japan. Yeah. So you don't have any tattoos, right?
No.
Okay, because I don't either. And
that's what I'm saying.
Someone always asks, like, would you ever get one? And I'm like, I would.
Yeah, dude.
But there's in Japan, it can be taboo to have tattoos. So
I mean, the one I went to, you can't have them.
Yeah, some
they
places
literally had signs.
No.
Yeah,
there's like no tattoos. Some places, if you ask, they'll give you like, if it's a small one, they'll give you a bandage to cover it up. Some places don't care as long as you're a foreigner. Yeah, which is that in itself kind of funny. Like, oh, you're foreign, you're okay. If you're Japanese, no. Like, it's kind of interesting. But me, I'm like, I don't have any, so I'm just gonna kind of stick with that. Yeah, and but hot springs are great. I recommend it if anyone. Yeah, if you're okay with the comfort zone of being nude around other people.
That's another.
It's really
thing.
Clean though. It's clean. You shower before you go in.
Yeah.
I know that coming from my mouth, it probably sounds weird.
Same with culture
it's
relaxing,
here. It's a hot bath. You just
when I talk to anyone like in the States, I talk about taking a bath, and they're like, "What?
Yeah, why?
You freak! You're in your dirty water." But I'm like, dude, shower first.
You shower first.
You take a bath. You lay in the hot water like a hot tub.
So that's the thing in Japan too. They in America,
it's like a bathing culture, dude.
Yeah.
It's weird.
In Japan or in America, like the bath and the shower are the same, right? So if you do take a bath, you're laying in your own. It is kind of gross. I wouldn't do it. But in Japan, the shower is always separate from the bath, like in a Japanese home. Yeah. So you get the bath running, and while that's going, you shower and like rinse off and shampoo and stuff, and then you only go into the bath just to relax. Like it's just hot water, and you sit in there and just kind of.
And some of them are like heated. And they stay heated.
Yeah. They have thermostats, and you can maintain the heat. Yeah. So if it starts to go down, it'll. Yeah. It's very high tech, and it's when I lived with my homestay. Yeah. That was my favorite part of the night. I was always the last to go in. The family, that was like their rules. All the kids and the mom go in. Yeah. And then the dad goes in first.
Oh, it's the king, the king of the house, dude.
Yep. In Japan,
he needs the fresh water.
The mom, she worked full time. This is interesting too. Yeah, it was like she did all the work of a stay-at-home mom while working full-time, and the dad didn't have to. But it wasn't like, he wasn't like a jerk. It was just that's how it is. She did all the cooking. She did all the laundry. She did laundry every night. Yeah. She's like, Eric, where's your dirty clothes? Every night she did my laundry, and then so it was kind of a pampered thing. And then the dad bathes, and then the mom and the kids bathe, and then there was another guy living there. He would go in, and I would always go last because I was I was always out, grabbing drinks or something. But it's nice, man.
I remember a couple nights you were like, dude, I gotta go home to my homestay. Like, it's late.
It's like 3 a.m. It's weird coming home to like a wholesome
pissed.
family.
Did they ever get pissed? Like,
there was one night where I'm not proud of this one. I was studying abroad, by the way. We're not working. Yeah. You naturally end up just going out.
And the school that we were at, Scott, I guess you don't have to say it, but Kansai Gaidai.
Kansai Gaidai
University. It's like an international school with it's like half Japanese, half international for only the semester? The spring semester? Yeah. And then the other half is just Japanese?
Yeah. Something like, I forget.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. But basically, like, I remember when we first went, I remember we had Professor Hester, dude. I remember first class, Hester's this guy was, yeah. He was kind of weird. Fedora, like, that's when you know. I remember first class, he was like, Hester, the way he would talk, he was like, and just so you guys know, this school is meant for you to enjoy Japan.
Like, dude, relax.
Like, what? Yeah. But it really was. Honestly, we didn't do that much.
Do that much what?
Like a lot. There wasn't a lot of work. Really, like schoolwork.
Oh no,
that's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, that was
like the school was really just to enjoy.
Yeah, it's an immersion programs, and it's like during the day you're studying Japanese, which you could use in the real world, which is awesome. And then we took some like culture classes, but they weren't like hard. I don't remember ever studying.
It was very
hard.
Boring lectures.
Very boring lectures. But
and it was like an essay, like a big essay at the end of the thing is due. You know what I mean? Like
so you spend the last, your midnight
last day, you're like
last day, you get a C+ and you're fine, Yeah. And but it was more. Yeah, you're right. You had a lot of free time. Like I just remember there was like a day. I was like, dude, we should go to Kyoto. Is about an hour from here. Kyoto is an area that's known for like old temples,
traditional style landscape.
It
temples,
actually was.
Shrines,
it was actually a little. I don't know if you're a history buff, but they were. Kyoto was actually an original target during the war.
Oh, really?
And it was supposed to get wiped out.
Oh no!
But there was someone involved with the decision making had been to Kyoto in the past.
Oh, really?
And personally asked them to hit a different city, so they went to Nagasaki instead.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
That's
Kyoto.
Crazy.
Kyoto originally was.
That's a great place to go then. for sure.
Yeah, so you go now and you see all these temples and you're like, this almost got like wiped, and it's all like ancient temples, a lot of tourists and stuff, but you can go hiking. It's great, but it was so cool. You and we met up on like a sunny day because we both got out early around like 3 p.m. that day, and it was just so interesting, like going to school and then like just after school getting on a train and going and exploring temples. I was like, hey, me and Mike, I remember I had like a camera. I was like, me and Mike, we're going to explore some ancient temples now. Just got out of class. And we were able to just do that casually. Like, we're at a castle, like, but it was just midday. You know, we're going to get some good food and maybe a beer later. And it was it was a good time. So I fell in love with the life of living here without having to work. School was our work, but it wasn't very hard. And I studied Japanese. I tried hard. Yeah. And then, Juku is the word I was looking for. Is the name of those schools where the cram school.
Cram school.
It's cram school.
My God.
It's called Juku.
Yeah.
It just hit my head. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we really have anything like that in the States, really.
No, I mean you get like tutors, but no, I remember the most
pretty hardcore here.
Dude, the most I ever did like after school studying was driver's ed. My parents, they're like, we'll pay for your insurance if you do driver's ed because it lowers the cost if you do it. So I did it, and I remember it was. I feel like I was like pampered or something because I would have to go twice a week for only like 2 hours after school, and I fucking hated it. Yeah. And then I look here, and these kids are like they wake up at 6 a.m. Yeah. They go to school all day, and then they come to my English school all day until about 8 or 9, eat dinner, and go straight back to bed and just rinse, repeat. Yeah. And then even on the weekends, like everything's so like scheduled out, like your fun time. You have to plan when you're going to have fun. It's just a really different approach. I
kind of noticed that about Japan with especially like Japanese friends I have had here. It's like a lot of like people here, they plan like an event. They plan to go somewhere. Like hey, this day we're going to go.
What are you doing in 11 days? I don't know why. Do you want to grab a beer with me? I'm like,
let me see if the schedule lines up. Yeah. It's like,
in the US, it's always like you call them that day. Like, hey, I'm going to get a beer later. You want to join? Sure. In Japan, that would never fly. You like, it was so weird. Like, hey, in 3 weeks, let's go get a beer here. I was like, yeah, I'm down, but why are we doing this 3 weeks in advance? And I soon realized, they're just very busy people. Like, maybe not everyone, but on a general level. Yeah. So,
I think other than like
not like America's education system's that strong, but at least I had a lot of free time. It was more of like I got to socialize. Like that's like more life skills, right? Rather than education.
Definitely more strict here, I think.
Very strict.
Yeah. Like even like going on the subways at night, like you're coming home from like a bar, but
like goofed up.
Yeah. And you're like, wow. But if you actually sit there and look around, it's all like just older people coming home from work and students coming home from school.
Yeah, and like you've been out drinking and they're and they're just getting off work. Shit, yeah. So So when I first came back here, I came here with stars in my eyes. Like, I studied here for a year. Yeah. I feel like I know everything. I can speak the language a little bit, man. I'm going to come back and do this YouTube thing. And then I came back and it was a hard dose of reality of just like, I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
Dude, and I remember I
remember calling you out like, bro, it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah. I'm now 2 years later, finally in a place where I'm kind of, I can proudly say I'm happy to live in Japan again.
I remember you were pretty stressed about like first moving here with your situation with living and stuff.
Yeah, I was.
Especially like going somewhere to like a different country. I mean, you study Japanese, of course, which helps you a lot. And we were here before. But still,
signing
moving
like a contract for an apartment, getting a cell phone, getting a bank account.
That was your first time doing that?
I did it in the U.S.
In the U.S. too?
Yeah. No, I did it in the U.S. But just doing it here, it was like, like, I don't know if I'm going to get scammed. I don't know. There's a lot of apartment buildings that actually won't rent to foreigners.
Really?
Because a lot of people will come here like for like a working holiday, which America doesn't have, but most countries have like a working holiday visa. They'll come here and then like just abruptly leave and without cleaning the apartment, and then the tenant has to like clean it and pay to clean it. It's like, so unfortunately there's been so many bad incidents with foreigners like breaking their contracts and just leaving the country that when I was apartment searching, we had to like specifically categorize like foreign friendly places. So that's a struggle when you get here that. And my strongest advice, if you're coming back, by the way, looking for a place, maybe start with one of those places like your company helps you, and then slowly. I found both of the places I lived after my first place on Craigslist.
Really?
Yeah. No one in Japan really uses Craigslist. So if you go on there, it's mostly foreigners that are helping each other out. Like, hey, like there's a place here you can.
That's like the complete opposite.
Very
of,
opposite.
America.
Yeah.
Everyone's out to get you.
Yeah. So, Yeah, Craigslist works if you're looking. That's where I found where I live now, and I like where I live now. I have a new apartment, but yeah.
Let's not give that out because.
Oh, don't leak where I live.
Yeah.
I live in the Osaka area, though. Yeah.
It's a cool town, man.
Dude,
like down
best.
here.
It's the best.
Have you been to Tokyo?
I've been to Tokyo.
I wanted to go, and I kind of got talked out of it by
me,
a couple people, by you, a couple people. Like,
no, man.
How do you think the differences are?
My first day in Japan ever was in Tokyo, and it was amazing.
Oh, really?
Yep, I was with a really good friend.
Yeah,
I was with good friends. I stayed with their families for a couple weeks, and then I came here before studying abroad. And Tokyo was a blast. It's a great time. Yeah. It's a huge culture shock. However, after living here for a couple of years, all of that buzz or hype or whatever of being in Japan.
You see a vending machine, you're like, whoa, dude,
exactly,
what is this?
Exactly. You can do once, culture shock, right?
Yeah.
There's phases of it. Once you're like completely out of it, living here where it's compared to Tokyo, it's cheaper. The people are on a general level. They're known for being very friendly and outgoing, rather than it's like a difference of New York or some small town, right? Like, people are a little more friendly when it's less busy. And so I go to Tokyo probably twice a year to visit friends and stuff and do YouTube work because there's a lot of work out there.
Yeah, for sure.
But personally, people always ask, like, would you ever consider living in Tokyo? My very long answer short in the most polite way is hell no. I don't. I personally. I don't know. Whenever I'm there, it's literally like, I mean, it's only because I already live here, so I'm kind of spoiled. Like, it's like, hey, you like living here? Yeah. Now let's double the population, make everything more expensive, make everyone a little bit meaner, and they all speak English, so it doesn't feel so immersive anymore. And but I don't know. Maybe I sound like a curmudgeon, but people always just ask, should I?
I think definitely for like
for traveling, absolutely go to Tokyo.
For sure.
It's a blast. It's from my perspective as a guy who now lives here.
Yeah.
Anything you can do in Tokyo, aside from like specific Tokyo Tower or some, if you want to do touristy stuff, but like any like karaoke or food or anything like that, you can do it all here. And I know where to do it here, so I don't have any reason to go to Tokyo.
I like here though because you're close to Osaka.
Yeah.
You're close to Kobe. You're close to Kyoto.
Yeah.
It's all within like hour within.
I went to Kyoto yesterday. Yeah. I went to
Kobe. Like I literally took a train that was like 30-40 minutes to Kobe. I was like, wait, what? I remember this being a lot longer.
It's like a whole nother like state pretty much. Like it's considered a whole separate section. So
dude.
Osaka geographically, it's like you have Kyoto northeast of it, Kobe a little bit like northwest, Nara I think southeast, and then you have Wakayama like south, which is more like beaches and stuff. A lot of people take like rent a car and go down there.
Yeah.
So I consider Osaka like a good hub to go to a lot of places. Yeah. So when people ask like, I'm doing a 2-week trip, where should I go? My go-to is like go to Tokyo for like a week and then come down to Osaka, and then you can do like 2 days in Kyoto, 2 days here, and then get a little feel. If you can afford it, maybe go to Hokkaido. That's the northern area of Japan.
I always wanted to go, man.
Oh man, I went once.
Really?
Oh my god, it's awesome.
You went for snowboarding, right?
No, I went in the summer actually because it was so hot here. I couldn't handle it. The humidity is bad here in the summer, so I went to Sapporo, and their summer is like the spring of like Osaka spring.
Oh really?
Yeah, like good, warm, comfortable, sunny weather. So I had a blast, but I want to go back in the winter. Because that's what it's known
that's
for.
The spot.
Yeah, it's like good snowboarding, all that. And I went to Nagano for snowboarding though, which is just outside of Tokyo. Nagano's great. I recommend it if you are into skiing at all.
Word.
Very fun. Shout outs to the I think it was called the Dragon King Park, but in Japanese it's the Ryuo Ski Paku is the name of it. Ryuo is like it's like the king dragon, whatever the kanji are for that. But good snowboarding here actually. Yeah.
So in your times of like streaming and stuff and moving into streaming, what's like some of like your favorite moments that you had? Because a year and a half is a long time.
It's a long time. There's been a lot of crazy, like if you take the stream out to like a bar and some you get a stranger that's acting kind of crazy or is friendly, or sometimes you get some guys that are jerks that are that can be kind of funny. But as far as good memories and maybe like an actual genuine like wholesome memory, I mentioned I went to Sapporo. Yeah. That trip specifically, it was last year. I remember the job I was working at. On paper it sounds awesome. You got 10 paid weeks off a year at this job. It's a lot. But they're in set. You couldn't choose when it was. So it was usually around Japanese holidays when the whole country's on vacation. So it was really busy and it wasn't really like what. So but I took advantage. I had 2 weeks paid vacation last year. and I said, let's do like a trip. So I booked a one-way flight to Sapporo, which is like very far north Japan, and I'm like more southwestern.
How many hours is that?
Oh, it's actually not very far. I think it was only a 2-hour flight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a flight. Huh. Yeah. I mean, it's far, but the country is pretty small. It's just long, and so you can take a cheap flight. Peach Airlines is the cheapest. Like it's like the poverty, like cheap.
It's the Spirit.
It's like Spirit. Yeah, it's like exactly. It's like Spirit. It's like Ryanair. You ever hear about Ryanair? They land in the wrong countries and stuff. Peach Airlines is like the Japanese version. You can go to Korea. So I went to Sapporo one way. It was like I don't know, $150. We got an Airbnb, and basically I said like, I'm not gonna book any hotels besides my first Airbnb. I'm not gonna book any hotels, no trains, no nothing, and we're gonna spend 2 weeks somehow going all the way from northern Sapporo, streaming every day, and come back to Osaka. So whatever, like hitchhiking, like riding a ferry boat, like whatever. We did the whole thing and we came back. I eventually rode the bullet train from Tokyo back to Osaka.
Oh,
but
really?
I think that's what I did. But yeah, it was one of the best. It was probably one of the best trips I've ever taken in my life. Oh man,
that sounds fucking.
I was by myself, but I was streaming with, I don't know, a couple hundred people, like viewers. So they were there for like the whole ride for those that could tune in. Cool. And every day, like I was in Sapporo, I ended up staying for an extra day. I was single at the time, and I met a nice lady friend up there, so I stayed a little longer to hang out with her. And then I left and went to some more like countryside towns. Yeah. Where I had without getting too I don't know, cheesy, schmuppy, like whatever. Like seriously, some of the most like, wow, this is awesome. Like I went to some there was like a restaurant in Aomori, which is like a really, really just, I think it's like on the water.
They have like the gardens there, right?
At where at Aomori? I think so. I was only there for a night. I was only there for a night. I didn't see actually too much, but I went out, I just Googled like cool restaurants. And there was a restaurant where they do very traditional, I think it's koto, the old Japanese guitar. Yeah. So they have like very traditional Japanese dances and music performances restaurant. So I went. I was obviously the only foreigner there. Yeah. And
that's crazy over there.
I got to dance with like the grandma who's like worked in the restaurant her whole life, comes out from the back and she's like, they're dancing and clapping in a line, and I got to join it, and I had my camera going the whole time. It was amazing. Man. So it was just literally like every 2 days I was in a new town. I made new friends. Some guys would let me stay with them. Yeah. It's kind of hitchhiking a little bit, and then slowly just came all the way back down. And by the time I got back to Osaka, the next day I had work, and I was there. How was your vacation? It was like, you have no idea. It was like the best trip ever. Yeah. So for live streaming, that was perfect because it was just like, let's go on an adventure together. YouTube's a little bit different, but for that, that was a good memory. Yeah.
What do you think is harder, YouTube or live streaming?
It's harder to make money on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. If we're talking finances, you know, as a guy, I gotta pay the water bill. So like,
I kind of hate when people fucking they when you start talking about money, they're like, man, you got to do it for yourself.
You got to do it for the passion.
Well, come on, like that's kind of like part of it, right?
Time is money, man. Yeah. And I when I was younger, I was doing. You mentioned my. Like back, I used to play a lot of video games. I had a channel called Emart 5. I want to see if I can change that name, but I was really into like it was just a kind of my own personal upload anything channel.
I feel like everyone had one of those.
Yeah, I'd upload some World of Warcraft video.
Me too,
and then the next day some drumming, and it was just my personal channel. That was. Yo,
my first YouTube video was called Awesome Alligator Head in Florida.
What, like, just like a video?
It's just showing those like the
I miss the old YouTube so much. I miss the old YouTube so much.
Yeah. It was like
Chocolate Rain and all that. Like it was so, remember it had a rating system, a ranking from like 1 to 5.
Yeah.
So you get like 4.5 stars, your video is going to go up. That was awesome. Oh man. But as far as to answer your question, it's easier to get started on YouTube and get a following. I'd say for sure. Twitch is hard. Some people stream for like years and get no viewers. Yeah. And
that's why it's good that you had like a following, and then you're like, oh, I'm doing, because I remember you kind of transitioned from YouTube till you kind of started like, oh, I don't have time.
I don't have time for YouTube, so let's do Twitch for now.
You were kind of doing the podcast thing too.
I was, and then I had to pause that too. I was doing something similar to this.
Yeah, and then you went to
which was
Twitch,
fun. But then I was like, the best thing I can do right now is just go on Twitch, because I can I got 4 hours. So let's just go live and hang out.
And some people buy, like I stick in, like I work a lot too, but sometimes I pop in while I'm working.
Oh, it's Mellow Mike.
Yeah, dude.
I call him Mellow Mike.
It's fun. It's a fun community and everything.
It's really fun. So yeah, to answer your question, if like I already had a following, so I went on Twitch, and the first day I had like 75 viewers. So then you just go once you get about 50 viewers, that's good because then you're at least up there.
Yeah,
like if people are searching for
and
streams,
a lot of those are going to be like regular viewers.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's like your core, and then you get like the stragglers who might join and say what's up. But YouTube, that's why everyone has to do like Patreon, right? Because it's YouTube, the out like
right now it's like, I don't
bad.
know what's
and demonetization, if you swear, I'm sorry if I demonetize you in any way.
Dude,
but
I'm not at that level.
Yeah, well, just it's like if you were to put, and you have to put so much time to make a good video. That's the thing. On Twitch, you can just turn it on and kind of.
That's kind of why I do this too, the podcasting, because it's like. It's your own thing.
That's what podcasts are great for. Is the long rather than a 2 minute like.
Because you can have your own website with your own videos.
Right.
And like.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't have to say it. Podcasts are exploding right now.
Oh yeah.
I listen to all the comedian podcasts like everyone else does,
and
it's such a good platform to get a conversation in. So even if we're just kind of shooting the shit here, but it's
for sure.
It's super enjoyable. But so I'm excited to go back to voice crack. I'm excited to go back to YouTube. It's been a long time. But it's
sure. What do you think you're gonna like? Are you gonna go back to like the educational kind of stuff?
So I have an idea for a video. I'll actually say it here.
Okay, you heard it here first. Exclusive.
Don't steal my idea. There's in Osaka specifically, this area. It's most of the comedians in Japan are known from coming from like this area. It's very like comedic based, very funny people. Kind of, it's known for that, and very comedic city. I think there must have been a comedian or something that made this popular. But there was, if you're ever in Japan, and some people kind of like approach you like, oh hi, how's it going?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Without any context, and this might sound bad. Of course, do it at your own risk, and do it like have some common sense here.
Yeah.
Because this might sound bad, but it's truly awesome. If you're like standing outside, so like I'm usually doing Twitch, so I have a camera.
Yeah.
People are like, oh hey, are you a YouTuber? I won't say a word. And I just kind of like pretend to reach out of my pocket with finger guns, just like this. And I just go, bang, no context, nothing. It's total stranger. And it's like a guy, right? He comes up to me and I just go, bang, with no context. He just goes, ah.
And they know.
And they fall to the ground.
That's a good idea.
Every time. So what I wanted to, and it's true, like you could try it, but don't be dumb. Don't run around and scare people. I'm just saying, like, if someone kind of talks to you and you kind of go, wait a minute, bang, they'll every time, like men, women, like everyone, they just and fall down. It's adorable. It's cute. And it's hilarious. And it's like if they're from Osaka. And so what I want to do is make a video to like demonstrate that. Yeah. So and I want to kind of like I have an idea. I'm kind of storyboarding in my head, but I want to like. However I intro it, I don't know, like, whatever. And then I want to go into like the how to, it'll be like how to blah, blah, blah. And it's going to cut to like a kind of a generic kind of company tutorial. Yeah. But it's going to show, but it'll be like kind of spaghetti Western. Maybe like me and we have a friend, Japanese friend, Masa. Like imagine like me and Masa. And it's like step 1, like, eye contact, like, oh shit, like, I don't know, I want to make it funny, right? Sure. But I want to make it also educational, but also I want to be respectful too. Be like, of course, I'm not promoting guns. I'm just saying, it is a cultural thing here in Osaka that not a lot of people know about. And that's like kind
of like your style too, with how your videos work. Yeah, kind of like a comedic. I like to make it funny, educational.
A little slapstick. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. That'd be fun. And then after that, I want to do with Twitch. I went out so much. If you do it every day, you're like, all right, where do we go today? I feel like I've done everything here. Let's go to this town. So I've learned where a lot of really good like restaurants and bars that I like to go to that I could recommend that not a lot of people know about. Yeah. And I speak some Japanese, so I have that. That helps me in that if I go to a place with no foreigners, I can kind of like, what kind of I can ask and stuff. Yeah. I'd like to make my top 3 just really quick recommended bars as a foreigner where you don't have to worry about it. Maybe top 3 if you can speak a little Japanese, some cool, unique, wacky food place. That's more educational. For sure. Yeah, quick, cut, simple, but so it'll be sweet.
That's dope. Yeah.
And I was hoping maybe we could do something together while you're in town, but not this time. I'm sorry. Next time, dude. Next time for sure. I'm not going anywhere. Next year. Yeah, bro.
Shit. Well, fuck. We're kind of wrapping up here.
How long has this been going?
We're almost at an hour.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, man.
Did we hit all the topics that were? Yeah.
I mean, kind of just with these over here, I'm kind of like, No. We usually like get people to ask questions before we do like kind of Instagram live.
Yeah,
we get some people to pop in.
No, this is
a lot of viewers.
I'm having fun.
They write in questions and stuff. But yeah, it's just a fun time. Like talking to you is like I could do it all day.
Yeah, this is what we do off.
Listen to your stories.
I say
like,
off stream, off camera. Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, tell me a story. And you just tell me a bunch of stories.
I have a lot of stories in Japan. It's a very interesting place, very fun place, very safe place, but a very weird place. And I love all of it. It's fun.
Man, me too.
It's fun. It's fun, and I'm glad to have you here. You were saying really quickly. You were saying when we were studying abroad, there's like different categories of people. I'm really glad that all of my good friends I made, like our friend Anthony was just here 4 weeks ago. Yeah, you're here again.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends that I made they still come back, and and you kind of just click back into it. It's like a second home for a lot of people. So me living here, it's great when people are in town. I'm like, yes, I can
for sure
share the fun I'm having with a good friend, and maybe I took you out to all my favorite spots. Oh yeah, dude, we found some good spots.
This kid, he literally like around the area he lives. He's like, dude, let's go grab some takoyaki. It's just like it's an octopus ball dish. It's popular in this area.
Yep.
It's really good. He just like takes me to this place. He's walking around. There's just people that are like, Eric-san, yeah. And we walk into the place, and they're like, we order like drinks, right? Yeah. And they're like, oh, drinks for Eric. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? You're like a celebrity here.
It's a
nice little town, man.
It's a nice small. It looks huge, but it really is tight knit. Yeah. Everyone knows each other.
It's nice to see that. Like I remember you called me one day, and you were like pretty down. Right?
Yeah, I was. And, from before.
I think I was pretty drunk too.
I
think you messaged me.
I messaged you being like, bro, I'm not doing so hot because I wasn't. It was like a month into coming back here.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in Namba in Dotonbori under like by the bridge. I was having a beer, and I was like, dude, I was just kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like, man, this stinks. And then you called me, and you're like, I'm sorry, I'm at a bar, dude. But and you actually in all of that, I remember you called me that day. You reminded me like, bro, like, you're good, man. You know what I mean? Like, in a drunk way of trying to motivate someone. It was great. You were like, dude, just stick to YouTube. You know, like
it's going to suck. Everything's going to suck right now.
You said this is what you said. You're like, Eric, you moved to the other side of the world. It's going to suck for a while. Like, and I was like, it was like very sobering. He's right. And I knew it, but it helped me. Yeah, man, that's good for sure. Yeah, so beginning is tough for sure, depending.
Yeah, man,
but
it's good to see from that point to right here.
I'm really happy.
I'm looking at you. I'm like, holy shit,
I gotta glow again.
You're glowing.
Yeah. So now I want to just get more film work going. Is my goal.
Yeah. I feel like you finally have the time now. You know?
It took a while, but
that's dope.
Yep, that's
bro.
That's me though. Japan's fun. Yeah. Come on down. It's the best place to travel to, man. I think.
For sure.
Living's a little different, but come travel, and I'll hopefully be able to. There's a lot of YouTubers in Tokyo and almost none in here in the Kansai, Osaka region. So
you got to start it up.
I would like to kind of maybe start doing that
for sure.
So not to keep self-plugging here, but having fun.
Well, we're gonna plug right now everything because this is the end, man.
Great, awesome.
Sad to be, but
I hope that was okay. Yeah,
dude, whatever, man. It was great. It felt good.
Sweet.
Guys. So that was episode 20 of the You Are Here podcast with our great friend Eric here. You can find Eric on twitch.tv/EricAbroad. Is there like any space or anything?
There's an Eric_abroad, but if you typed it, it'll pop up.
If you have any other places to find you,
go to YouTube because I'm starting back up. Yes. It's been so long.
And we're gonna link it down below. Please. And I'm gonna link it on all those socials and everything.
It's there's gonna be no money. It's more of a resume.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's for the passion. I don't do it for the money. Dude. I do it for the fans. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, goddamn, dude, it was great to have you.
Good to have you, man. Guys, you are here in Osaka, so let's enjoy. You are here.
We are here. I'm about to leave. I'm sad. Soon, really sad.
You've been here for like 2 weeks, though. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. It's been a great time.
We've had some adventures.
A lot of adventures,
which I'd love to talk about more, but maybe another time.
Yeah, maybe a different podcast.
Maybe some things aren't. It was fun. Yeah, it was fucking awesome, man.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys, you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, You Are Here Podcast, anywhere, www.youareherepodcast.co. We could not afford the M, Podbean, YouTube, Castbox, Earworm. Oh my goodness, all these places. Thank you so much, guys. This is Mike. I'm signing out.
Later.
Word.
Earworm.